Hi guys, Happy New Year! Today we'll be learning how to make Ofe Nsala, also called white soup. Come along.
Some onions. I have smoked chicken, some crayfish powdered, some pounded yam flour that we're going to use to thicken the soup. I have some dry fish. This is specifically kidney fish, dried peppers, some stock cubes, Maggi, and seasoning, and of course salt. So let's get started. Smoked chicken, and we steam it in a pot with some onions. I typically let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes before I start adding all the other ingredients, instead taking the fish away from the head. Yum! Look at that good stuff. Yummy fish. We'll continue. Once you let your smoked chicken cook for about 10 to 15 minutes initially, you start to mix all the other ingredients. I've washed my dry fish. I'm gonna add it in. We're gonna add some crayfish. I love crayfish. It gives it that delicious flavor. I've blended some pepper mixed with onions. I love the flavor of onions in my soup. And with this soup, you just throw ingredients in. I'm gonna put a teaspoon of fresh pepper. Just a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. Some salt and seasoning. And we're gonna let it cook for another 20 minutes. Literally, the last thing we're gonna add to this soup is our pounded yam. After you make it into pounded yam itself, you use water and you mix the pounded yam. You just throw little lumps of this into your soup to thicken it. And white soup is really easy, but it's yummy. It's used for pregnant women who just had a baby. It helps them nurse. And if you're having it's a cold or rainy day, you just want a nice hot soup. Light soup or Ofe Nsala is very, very good. Oh, one more ingredient. Not a lot of people use it, but I like to. It's called the leaves that we use at the end. Utazi leaves. I'm gonna soak that in some water and add that just to give it some color at the end. Stay tuned. Welcome guys, we're back. So right now our fish and smoked chicken is steaming in the pot. I have a little water on the side that we're going to use to make the pounded yam, but I wanted to call to your attention two secret ingredients that my mother taught me was the secret to making great Ofe Nsala. The first is called uziza and the other is called uda. You put very little portions of this into your soup. If you don't have the specific spices, you can get the African, from the African store, the Pepersoup mix. There's a Pepersoup mix that also comes with all these ingredients already added. I'll show you what it looks like. But if you are able to get your hands on uda and uziza, oh my god, it gives your soup an amazing flavor. A really small portion, you drop some of the uda and the uziza. And then you mix your pounded yam into a small pot. So we just want to get a few lumps that we're going to use to drop into the soup. And the point is, this is your thickening agent. I like my soup really light, so I put very little pounded yam just so that it has a thick consistency. That's going on. I'll turn your attention to one last ingredient while I work on the pounded yam. This is the uziza leaves. It gives it that flavor and just that feel of, you know, having pepper soup. So I soaked a little bit of it in water. I will sprinkle it into the soup. Not too much, but enough to give it that, you know, pepper soup feel. We're gonna mix it up now. Looking yummy already. Again, some people can use goat meat and dry fish. I like to use smoked chicken, but pepper soup size. So with each bite, you get some yummy, yummy chicken to go with it. Trust me, it is yummy. So right now, I think my pounded yam is ready to go in. I typically use my hand at this point, and I take little chunks of the pounded yam and I drop into the soup. It's going to dissolve at the end, but the whole point is so that it thickens your soup and gives it that thick flavor, as opposed to pepper soup. You don't need pounded yam, but with Ofe Nsala we typically use pounded yam. It's hot. Alright, so we're gonna mix everything together and let it simmer for another 10 minutes, and we'll bring you the final product once our soup is ready. By the time the soup is ready, all of this pounded yam would have melted into a thick consistency. So we're gonna let this sit for another 10 to 15 minutes. Soup is ready. So that's it. Thank you for watching the YouTube channel, and definitely don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, and you can also follow on Instagram at dFoodplace, and you can follow me specifically on Instagram. My handle is Oge's Kitchen, Oge's_kitchen. And until we see you again, have fun. Bye.